Good morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome in. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVI, and I lead School's Eye on the Valley. I am Matt Watson, and, well, y'all know our show. You know by now. Our show, Eye on the Valley. It is brought to you by SCVI and I Lead Charter Schools. We are a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've got a fully accredited online school. We've got a burgeoning homeschool program called I Lead Exploration. You can visit us at ileadschools.org for information on any of our schools. And, oftentimes when I'm talking to people about our schools, they say, so what's the difference between a charter school and a public school? That's a misnoming question. Charter schools are actually public schools. They're funded the same way your local district school is. But the difference between your traditional district school and your charter school is, there's a lot of differences, but basically charter schools kind of have the boundaries lifted a little bit. We're free to push the envelope a little bit, and there's, most importantly for you, the borders for our schools are kind of wide open. So basically, if you can hear my voice, you can attend any one of our 6 charter schools here in Southern California. Again, we've got classroom-based, we've got virtual, we've got hybrid, we've got independent study, home study, everything that your child needs regardless of what their learning needs are. Again, check out all of our schools at ileadschools.org. And you know what? Just settle in, pour yourself an extra cup of coffee, and peruse that website while you're listening to our show. We keep our eye on education. That's right. Keep our finger on the pulse of education here in Santa Clarita and across the nation. But like the show says, we like to keep our eye on the valley as well, bringing you everything you need to know about what's what here in the valley. And while you listen to the show, we may make you crack a smile or two, maybe giggle, dare I say guffaw. So let's have a little fun while we learn something new, and maybe enjoy a warm fuzzy or two. Actually, we've got a couple of warm fuzzy moments here coming up in the show. We've got a fantastic show for you today. Coming up in just a moment, we'll be talking to David Borkes. I've been trying to get this guy for weeks. He's so busy. David is the Community Outreach Coordinator for Empower Generations High School. They are the only school in our network that is exclusively high school, and boy, are they doing some incredible things. The stories coming out of this school are absolutely touching. Just one of my favorite campuses to be on. You won't want to miss it. And in hour number 2, we will check back in with Habitat for Humanity Los Angeles. We had them on the show, probably about this time last year. It was a while back. They're such a great organization. They're doing so much more than you would even realize. And we've got their president and CEO, Erin Rank, joining us here again in hour 2. And then, yes, as always, we've got Big T here at the end of the show. He'll have Papa's Pick of the Week. Boy, Papa has been on the schneid lately. He's not been doing well. And Big T may have a fun fact or two. He'll have some trivia, probably a joke or two at my expense. And then we'll send you off to your weekend for, with some fun and some laughs. So, yeah, stick around. It's going to be a great show. So, in the mid-20 teens here, almost 10 years ago, the Antelope Valley, in an in-depth survey, was found to have one of the highest teen pregnancy rates in the nation. That's right, our neighbors up there in the Antelope Valley. And tragically, at the time, and still in many cases today, our traditional public schools were ill-equipped to handle pregnant and parenting students. In response, I Lead Schools opened a high school program designed specifically for pregnant and parenting teens back in 2016 called Empower Generations. Empower Generations Charter School opened its doors that year with a total enrollment of 5 students, but quickly ballooned to well over 100, with a unique approach to serve the whole person and whole family, allowing learners to pursue a high school diploma while navigating the new experiences of pregnancy and parenthood. Since then, it's been almost a decade. I can't believe it. Since then, they've expanded their services to meet the needs of a wide variety of high school students, promoting adaptability, self confidence, autonomy, and creativity through the development of social emotional communication and problem solving skills. Joining me now is their community outreach coordinator, David Borkes. David, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Of course. Thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it. So I'm just sharing with our listeners how unique Empower Generations is. Can you share a little bit more detail about what makes Empower Generations High School unique compared to other high schools in your area?
Absolutely. We are proud to offer a learning studio that is available daily, providing support to our students as they navigate their educational journeys. We understand that each learner has unique needs, which is why we offer these personalized learning options tailored specifically for them. Our students progress through the curriculum at their own pace, allowing them to move faster or slower as needed. Our program also fosters a warm and friendly environment where students build strong relationships, not only with their peers, but also with their guides, also known as teachers. Okay. We believe this rapport enhances overall learning experience and makes everyone feel welcome.
Gosh, and it's no wonder why you're attracting more than just that original population that I had mentioned that Empower Generation was founded to serve, right? You've got kids that are dealing with all different kinds of needs. So I'm sure you see a lot of different types of kids there in your learning studio, and it is because your population is smaller. It really is kind of this cozy, warm studio environment. What kind of students are you finding, David, that are benefiting from a school like Empower Generations?
Well, we cater to all students seeking an alternative to traditional education settings. We understand that the importance of a small campus atmosphere fosters a collaborative learning among our students. If they're interested in college courses, we have a great option. Our learners currently are attending classes at the local community college this spring, and we even provide transportation to make it, easier for them to get there. Our enrollment process is flexible, allowing students to join anytime throughout the year. So, that makes us a little more unique. Some traditional schools, you have to, register at the beginning of the semester, so on and so forth. We recognize the diverse needs of our students. We have the flexibility to manage their school demands alongside work commitments, making it easier to achieve both academic and career goals. Our learning studio is a supportive space for all students, including parenting and pregnant teens, as you mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. We provide a dedicated play area for those children that allows our parents to focus on their studies. No matter what their circumstances, we're dedicated to supporting every learner in their journey towards their college and career readiness.
Wow. So, David, it's funny. Every time I visit your campus, every time I talk to somebody from Empower Generations, I learn something new. So you have kids that are concurrently enrolled in your high school and the local community college, and you're providing transportation to get those kids back and forth?
Absolutely. One of the biggest struggles is, transportation. We received some students that were having trouble getting to the school. So I was like, all right, that was kind of the first thing I dug into is how do we help them with that and overcome that obstacle for them?
Gosh, that is beautiful. And I love that because it constantly seems to be the mission of all I-Lead schools, but really, especially Empower Generations, is to kind of look in and see what the need is and do whatever you can to provide that need. Speaking of which, you mentioned that, focusing on this population of pregnant and parenting teens, the babies are welcome. That's amazing. You've got a play space for the kids there, the little ones. Does that get distracting for classes at all?
No, we have a separate area for that. And also our learners can move about on the campus because it is independent studies. Okay. So that if they have their children there, they can move off to a separate space that, kind of keeps that noise level confined.
Fantastic. And again, meeting the needs of whatever it is that your students need. You mentioned you've got flexible enrollment options. There kind of is no open enrollment season. You're enrolling, you enroll year round because who knows what's going to happen, and you're taking kids with credit recovery issues and kids that are looking to get back on track, or kids that are looking to accelerate their programming. So I want to clarify, um, what grade levels do you serve? You guys are just ninth through 12th, right?
So yes and no. So
Okay.
we offer exciting opportunities available for students ages 14 to 24. So,
Oh, wow.
typically when you think ninth through 12th grade, you think that probably capping off at 18 years old. Nope.
Yay.
We welcome all learners up to age 24 who are striving to achieve their high school diploma. Our program not only supports academic success, but also provides career technical education, also
Oh.
known as CTE pathways, that help students identify and develop their career interest. Our two CTE pathways, our first one is early childhood education. In this pathway, students learn about child development and can gain certifications that can prepare them to work as preschool teachers.
Oh, great.
And then our other pathway is I Perform. This pathway allows our students to explore their passions in media arts, music production, and providing them with hands-on experience in a dynamic field.
Oh.
We believe these two programs can greatly benefit our students as they prepare for their future careers.
Wow, I'm sure both of those programs are really popular. So I mentioned your job, and it is kind of a unique one. I want to get into that in just a second, but can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, David? What's your professional background, and what brought you to Empower Generations? Are you a teacher as well?
I am not. I actually have an interesting background and story of how I came about to the family.
Okay.
My background in customer experience management. I've successfully overseen operations in various areas, including call center management, social media engagement, marketing strategies, and training initiatives. My children began their journey at iLead in 2022, and during that time, I had the pleasure of being part of the iSupport committee. For those of you that don't know what iSupport is, it's similar to your traditional PTA. I was truly impressed with the warm family-like atmosphere at the school, which sparked my curiosity on how I could become more involved. I started keeping an eye on the job postings on iLead's website, and I was thrilled to discover a position that matched my interest and qualifications. Without hesitation, I submitted my application, and now I personally get to contribute to give back to this amazing community.
That is fantastic. We love seeing that. We've got actually quite a few folks that join our organization as family members of students, and then end up working for us through one path or another. And I love that that your skill set has been able to contribute to our school. And gosh, folks have been, I don't mean to throw flowers at you, but folks have been talking about you ever since you started at Empower Generations. Now, it's a new position there at the high school this year. As a community outreach coordinator, David, what exactly is your job? Because this is something pretty unique to your school, both the need and the role. Tell us basically what you do for a living, David.
That's a great question. Thank you for asking. So Empower Generations High School applied for a community school grant, and they got me. The opportunities of this grant will help us be incredible towards our mission. My role continues to involve daily being a new position, but the core of my work is focused on connecting with community-based organizations. This year, already we've made great strides with several community partners who are generously providing workshops on essential topics such as mental health, drug awareness, life skills, and various career paths for our students. I've been actively participating in boothing events to increase awareness of our school and the programs we offer. It's been also been a fantastic way to engage with the community and highlight resources available to our students.
Well, that is fantastic. So you're out there building relationships with organizations that are partnering with your school to bring much needed relevant information and education to your high school students there. So can you talk about some of the community partnerships that you have developed at Empower Generations that are benefiting your students?
Absolutely. Since my time here, I focus on those partnerships meeting the current needs of our population, but that can vary. We get a new learner that comes in, we see another opportunity for resources that are needed for that learner. In the beginning, I recognized, as I spoke about earlier, we needed to find transportation to help us offer free bus passes for our learners.
Oh, okay.
The need for transportation is not only just for school, but they can use these passes recreationally on the weekend and travel as far as Ventura County.
Oh.
We understand the importance of the community partnerships, and we're committed to keeping you all informed of what's happening on our campus. Whenever community partner visits or we participate in any of these events, we share updates on all our social media platforms, as well as cross-posting on those partner social media platforms as well.
That is fantastic. I'm sorry. Go ahead, David.
No worries. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, so you can stay connected and see what we're doing.
Yeah, great plug. Follow Empower Generations High School on social media. Fantastic plug. Community Outreach Coordinator David Borkes with Empower Generations Charter High School, serving the unique needs of teens in the Antelope Valley. More with David when we get back. We're going to take a quick break. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVI and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley, and you're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Friday. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVI and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley. That's right, it is Friday already. Does it feel like this Friday came a little bit faster this week? It's because it did. Those 4-day work weeks, I love them. Love them. So, I'm joined this morning by David Borkes. David is the Community Outreach Coordinator with Empower Generations Charter High School. They're doing amazing things, and, it's so funny. For those of you that don't know, I work for iLead California. We support 6 schools here in Southern California, and everybody on our staff just is constantly talking about, when you get up to the Antelope Valley, you got to stop by Empower Generations. You know what, David? It's funny. Even some of our staffers, even when they don't really have any work to do on your campus, they find a reason to show up and just check in, see how you're doing, because it's just such a warm, caring, very close-knit community, and there's just always such heartwarming things happening on your campus. I mean, who wouldn't want to, go in and check out how our high school students are progressing and in their career and technical ed programs, whether it's the early childhood education or that performance pathway, or they're just working on their high school diploma, and then you get to maybe hold a baby or two, and or just lean over and tickle somebody while they're playing. It's just so much fun. David, I know you've only been there with us for a few months, but you've gotten deeply immersed and you've already become one of those central hubs of the community at Empower Generations High School. Can you share maybe a success story about a student who is just really thriving at Empower Generations? I know we talked earlier about the type of student that does really well, but if you can get into an individual story, is there something that you can share? What makes their experience special there at Empower Generations High School?
Absolutely, Matt. Great question. And, this is one that was like, who do we pick,
Right.
This spring, Empower Generations High School will celebrate the graduation of a truly exceptional student, entering as a freshman with over a year of missed schooling, and they were also pretty significantly credit deficient.
Okay.
This learner had faced numerous challenges, including anxiety in the school, and even at one time, unfortunately, homelessness.
Oh.
About the personalized learning approach at Empower Generations High School, the student has blossomed into a confident, young, successful adult. The school's flexible learning environment allowed them to progress at their own pace, fostering a sense of comfort and accomplishment. They thrived in both independent and collaborative settings, embracing opportunities for individual growth and peer support. Thanks to some of our new partnerships, the student received a free laptop, enabling them to access learning resources and complete their coursework from home. They actively participated in monthly workshops focusing on self-esteem, mental health, and they even got a free haircut at our school.
Oh, cool.
The student's journey has been enriched by their participation in the CTE program, which they will graduate with a CPR certification and college credits. This program also equips them to be equipped with their valuable skills and opens doors to future career opportunities. The graduation of this learner, I feel, is a true testament in the power of personalized learning, partnerships, and commitment to student well-being that we offer.
Well, that is fantastic. And you mentioned that that this student's going to be graduating this year. I have to tell you, of all of our schools, Empower Generations is the one graduation I will never miss. It is always, like you said, it's which student do we pick to talk about amazing stories. Every one of your graduates always has such incredible stories of whether it's about resilience or triumph or success or struggle or what it means to graduate. And then there's always a couple of them there wearing their gowns and their caps, and then they've got the little bitty baby in their arm also wearing little baby gowns and caps, and seeing parent and child sort of graduate high school together is super cool. Now you've mentioned it in talking about your program and how you service your students. Empower Generations focuses really heavily on what we call personalized learning. So can you explain what that looks like kind of in practice? Because you mentioned how you kind of customize everything to the individual learner. So what does that look like kind of when the rubber hits the road, and how is that benefiting the students?
Absolutely, and this is where we talk about every student's different. They have a different story, various needs. To ensure we address these effectively, we conduct intake interviews with every student to determine which program they're going to benefit most. The registration process is just the beginning. Our counselors meet with them as well to provide personalized guidance. Even our school director come into these discussions as necessary.
Okay.
For an example, we have many students focused on math courses. Their specific coursework varies based on their academic journey. Some of them working on Algebra 1, while others are focused on statistics, consumer math, financial math. We find the course that will work best for them. We recognize that some of these activities can be challenging. This is why we organize on-campus activities to reinforce instruction. For instance, our science program, we conducted hands-on experiments every week working with these learners. One of the experiments even was an edible atomic model.
Oh, wow. An edible atomic model. Can you talk about that a little bit? What do you mean by that?
So it was made of marshmallows. So
Okay.
they were able to atomic model with marshmallows. They had a blast. The amount of laughing that came from that activity, and then they were able to have a little snack afterwards. So it was dual purpose.
Well, I love that. So can we split the atom at Empower Generations High School? Yes, we can. As a matter of fact, we can split it up among the three of us. Enjoy.
Exactly. Or we can make s'mores, whatever.
There we go. I love that. Roast that hydrogen atom. Oh, fantastic. So you focus on personalized learning, but you also talk a lot about the whole student, right? So it's not just the individual student, but the whole student. I mentioned as I introduced your high school that you focus on whole student, whole family. Can you share a little bit about what that looks like and what resources you have available for your students at Empower Generations High School?
Sure, absolutely. We focus on academics and social emotional learning. We had an advisory program for all students 9 through 12th where they can discuss non-academic topics. Each week we focus on practices to help build positive relationships with peers and teachers and a strong sense of community on our campus. Each week our counselor also works with grade level to discuss college and career readiness. Advisory has also been a way for us to maintain strong relationships with our community-based organizations who come in and present workshops or an activity. Sometimes it's difficult to get high school students to engage when discussing emotions.
I have noticed that, yeah.
So we kind of got to get creative, and these workshops are formatted engaging ways to get their buy-in. For instance, we had Red Ribbon Week just passed. We had several organizations that came on campus to present on drug awareness. One activity involving jelly beans that served as a powerful demonstration for our learners about the unpredictable nature of drug consumption.
Okay.
We observed half of our participants ended up with a jelly bean that was quite unpleasant.
Oh, you're talking about those
Yeah,
Bean Boozled, yeah. It may
yeah,
taste
yeah,
like cookies and cream. It may taste like gym socks. Oh,
exactly.
what an amazing correlation between between those good tasting and bad tasting jelly beans, and you never know what you're gonna get when you're dabbling with something you shouldn't be dabbling with.
Exactly. And
Wow.
this was an excellent way to illustrate the concept that drugs often can be laced with unexpected substances, reinforcing our messages
Yeah.
about safety and awareness. It was a memorable experience for our learners. It was funny to see half of them jump up and run over to the sink and get some water. But it was, seeing the eyes open up when, the activity was complete, and, it was communicated as to why, this activity was important. It really was eye-opening. It's even getting to the point where learners are starting to come up and say, hey, when's our next workshop? When are we having another presentation? So they're really excited about it.
Yeah, I bet they keep wondering when that's happening with as much food as you've got going on over there. Forget the dog. I'm eating my homework. That is fantastic. So it's like I said, you guys are serving pretty much whatever need kids that may have coming into your high school. You're enrolling them year round. But what about folks in the community? Is there any way that our listeners who may want to support you can get involved, either as volunteers or supporters at your school?
Absolutely. We're always have an open door for anyone that wants to support or partner with us. We're grateful for support from our community. This November, actually, we're putting together Thanksgiving baskets for our local families.
Okay.
So if you'd like to consider donating non-perishable food items or gift cards to Smart and Final or any other grocery stores, you can drop them off at our school at 44236 10th Street in West Lancaster. Or you can email us at info@empowergenerations.org. In addition, we also accept donations for diapers, baby formula, wipes to support our teen parents. It's a community effort, so anything you could do to support, again, visit our website, empowergenerations.org, for further details.
Fantastic. So folks can contact you at info@empowergenerations.org to donate. They can drop them off there at your campus on 10th Street in Lancaster. If folks live down south here in Santa Clarita, I know we've got a collection box specifically for your school, David, at our iLead offices, iLead HQ on the Old Road in Castaic. It's just right off of the 126. So multiple ways that you can donate if you're looking to support parenting and pregnanting teens who are working on getting their high school diploma, or kids that are working on credit recovery and looking to get back on track, getting their high school diploma, moving into career and college options. David, I know you guys also work really hard to keep that community feel there in your school, and you're constantly putting on events. Besides the donations here as we head into the Thanksgiving season, do you have any other events coming up at Empower Generations?
Absolutely. Our events never ending, Matt. We want to make sure that we keep our
Yes.
learners and community feeling supportive and getting all the resources they need. We're
Love it.
working on, for December, working on getting haircuts again for our learners, making sure they look fresh for the
Nice.
holidays. We'll be doing another food drive for December as well as toy drives, partnering with Chips for Kids and other organizations to get some resources for our families in need.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I love it. David, you guys are doing so many great things at Empower Generations High School. And again, you're enrolling all year round. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and it's not just grades 9 through 12, basically teens 14 through 24 years old, working on their high school diploma, working to prepare themselves for college and career. And again, you mentioned you've got career pathways that you're developing, early childhood education, as well as, I forget what you called it, but it had to do with digital and media performance. What was that, the career pathway again, David?
Yeah, it's called I Perform.
I Perform?
Is the name for it, but it's music production, putting songs together, things of that nature.
Fantastic.
Seeing the kids in this program, they open up. There's a light that goes on. They're so excited. Most kids, especially teenagers, love music. So
Yeah.
it's a great I love watching that.
Absolutely. And like I said, I love seeing just about everything that comes out of your high school. It is absolutely amazing. David Borkes, Community Outreach Coordinator with Empower Generations Charter High School. Remember, friends, when I say charter, you think free. So, again, using the same funding that your local district school would, Empower Generations Charter High School is educating today's teens for success tomorrow. David, one more time, I want to just emphasize your website, empowergenerations.org for more information, or that email, info@empowergenerations.org for information on the school, how you can support, how you can donate, or how you or that teen in your life can apply. That's empowergenerations.org. David, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, you did a great job. Well, you have a great weekend, and we will see you soon. And you stick around, friends. We will be right back. I am Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVI and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVI and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. And there's a lot of activity going on outside. They're getting ready to light up Main Street, I think it is. All the city workers are out there moving around and getting all the lights and the decorations and the accoutrement ready for the holiday season. And yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. And you know, was it Bing Crosby? He was not wrong when he said that it is indeed the most wonderful time of the year. In a lot of regards, you know, folks love the holidays for a lot of different reasons. The weather changes, and of course, the holidays bring family back, and you know, it's always filled with some of those warm fuzzies. Personally, Thanksgiving is my favorite.
Yeah.
What about you, Jen? What's your favorite holiday?
Christmas, hands down.
Okay. Yeah, that's
hands down. I love Thanksgiving, but I think it just, you know, like a lot of people, just brings me back to being a kid.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I saw something not that long ago online that said something to the effect of, if you have a soft spot in your heart for Christmas or nostalgia for Christmas, it's because you had a parent or parents who loved you and you know, wanted you to have the best Christmas ever, and kind of gave you that gift, no pun intended, of a great Christmas. So you've held on to that from your childhood through your adulthood.
Well, that is really sweet.
It was worded much better than what I just did, but you know, the gist of it was that.
It makes
sense.
sense.
Like,
yeah,
that's really sweet. And for me, that was true, and I was very fortunate. So it's fun now. I'm a mom of two, and they are now they're on board with the whole Santa thing.
Okay.
So now I get to kind of experience it from a different point of view.
Well, and your job now is to build that positive nostalgia, so that years from now, your kids will have that warm embrace of Christmas every year that you're putting around them now. And conversely, not to bring us down, but I think this break might do that. You know, Christmas can also bring some negative feelings in, right? If you grew up not having some of those warm, fuzzy experiences. Right. You know, they say that certain unfortunate events kind of spike around the holiday time, and I think that some of that could be related. But, you know, just a couple of weeks ago, and I think this sort of feeds into that, actually more than you would expect, Jen. A couple of weeks ago, we observed the end of daylight saving time. And can you feel it? It's getting dark now at like 4:15, 4:30 in the afternoon, it seems like. It is. Do you like it as it's getting darker earlier, or do you prefer the longer daylight hours?
I prefer longer daylight hours. However, I do laugh, you know, like around the 4th of July, it's still light out at, you know, 8:45.
Well, yeah.
So somewhere in between would be nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and Big T, my brother, who he lives up in Washington. He'll be on the show here in about an hour or so. So he lives way up in Washington, and he talks about it, you know, still being light out at 9:15, 9:30 at night in the summertime.
Yeah.
But it's the opposite, you know, in the wintertime. It gets late so early, and I absolutely hate it. And I think that maybe probably a good 75% of the rest of the country would prefer that we just stay in daylight saving time and not have an hour change, not just because it messes with our mojo, but but there's a lot of stuff that happens when it starts getting dark earlier. Did you know that there's actually a clinical condition that is associated with the effects of it getting dark earlier this time of year? For real, it is
Yeah.
called it's a 3-word condition called seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah, I think I've heard that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Seasonal affective disorder. And like teachers and doctors like to do, we always make an acronym out of it. But think about that. And this is, I'm not kidding around. Seasonal affective disorder. So what would that be for short?
That spells out sad,
Right.
which is what you are
Absolutely.
this entire season.
So when it starts getting dark earlier, people get clinically sad. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Obviously, that something about the daylight just perks you up a little bit, and certainly there's psychologists out there who could go way deeper than that. But it's good for your brain.
It is. It absolutely is. It's good for your physical body. It's good for your brain, for your endorphins. And so the opposite has to be true, right? And studies do indeed show that when it starts to get darker earlier, it can increase your chances of developing sad. Yeah. Again, seasonal affective disorder, which it literally is a type of depression that includes all of the symptoms of clinical depression. And the only difference, is that these symptoms typically last only until the spring.
Okay.
And then the sun sticks around longer, and
then you're happy.
Right. Exactly. Well, happy. Well, what would that be?
Less
that would
sad.
be halftime, effective, positive.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's right. You would definitely have less sad. In fact, your sad goes away when the time change goes back and all that stuff. But it's funny. I was reading up on this yesterday. When it gets darker earlier, it can impact your sleep, your mental health. It can impact your physical safety. So let's go to sleep. So daylight saving time, and I'm sure all of us are kind of nodding our heads, right? How many of us have had our sleep patterns thrown off? Daylight saving time ending can disrupt your sleep quality and increase your chances of getting sad.
Sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seasonal
Keeps coming
affective
back.
disorder, right? Which that contributes to, but it's not only the sleep that causes this. It can affect our mental health. It can impact our mental health in negative ways. It can affect your general mood. It can affect your overall outlook on things. And yeah, that's sad.
It is sad, but you think
Seasonal
about it. I mean, it makes sense,
affective
especially for you just need coffee to make you happy. I know coffee is your jam. There you go. That'll cheer you up. But think about the people who work, and for them, I'm assuming it's the majority who work 9 to 5, and you get up in the morning, it's still dark out. You get ready for work. You go off to work 9 to 5. You come out and it's dark. So you have nothing. There's no daylight in your day. You've got your 30 minutes at your desk having your sad sandwich, and right back to work, and no daylight at all. So that's really, really bad for those people, especially. And again, I would assume that's the majority of us are 9 to 5.
Well, yeah, and I'm really fortunate in that anytime that I'm feeling particularly sad, I can just get out of the office and hit one of our 5 different campuses here around town, and I get to hang out with young people, whether it's high school students or elementary school students, and our amazing teachers, and that really helps me shake off the sad.
Yeah.
But days that I have to be in the office all day, my office doesn't have a window. So you're absolutely right. I can show up to the office while it's still dark outside, sit in an office all day long where there's no sunlight, leave the office at 5 o'clock, and it's dark out, and not see the sun all day long. And that can actually affect our physical safety. As it starts to get darker earlier, obviously the darkness reduces our visibility, right? So it can make it harder for drivers to see pedestrians. So if you're a walker, a jogger, things like that, it can provide poorly lit areas as you're out, whether it's in the morning time, you're walking in the dark, or in the early evening, now you're walking in the dark, and that might not give you sad, but it might make you sad, mad, or injured. So, and just kind of a side note here, if you're walking, jogging, riding a bike, if you're out there on the street, even if it's on the sidewalk and it's dark, wear some bright
Wear
clothing.
those reflective.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
They have all sorts of stuff out now. It used to just be, the stripe or the strip across your chest. Man, they have all kinds of things.
And
out
it
there.
doesn't have to be the obnoxious Caltrans uniform that you're out there jogging in.
Right.
Just wear some light colors. Wear some
Yeah.
white or some yellow or whatever. It just really scares me, when I'm driving down this, especially not even so much, when it's 9 o'clock at night, although that is no good either. But like right at dusk,
Yeah.
when visibility gets really bad, and folks are jogging in the bike lane in all black, and it's like last minute you see them. No, I don't typically try to drive in the bike lane, but every now, whatever. Just you want to be safe,
You
right?
want to be safe. And I've seen people put things on their dogs.
Yeah.
Collar, but I saw something the other day. It just lit up altogether. It was just battery operated. And I thought, man, that's even better than the reflective
Nice.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So this seasonal affective disorder, the sun going down so much earlier in the wintertime, can also affect our hunger. It's not just that we're going in the shops and smelling all the good things or
Okay.
thinking about the Thanksgiving dinner. Going back to standard time in the fall can also make you feel hungrier earlier in the day, right? It could lead to eating too early, which then makes you sleepy sooner. Or it makes you snack, obviously, later in the day, right? Because if you're moving to
Okay.
having dinner at 5 o'clock in the afternoon,
Yeah.
by the time you hit 8 o'clock at night, now rather than just getting ready for bed, you're getting hungry, you're snacking, and so and that also can disrupt your sleep. And all of this, you know what it
Sure.
is?
It's
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seasonal affective disorder. And it can also have an impact on your exercise, right? You feel less inspired. You're not getting, the vitamin D that you do from the sun. You're not having the same energy, right?
Yeah.
If it's dark, you can be dismotivated to
Sure.
go to the gym or go out walking,
Sit
go
on the
for
couch
jogging.
and stay comfy.
There
it's,
you go.
It's cold and dark outside.
Right. So now your sleep
And now
patterns
you're
are off.
eating two
You're-
different dinners.
You're
and
right. You're
snacks
eating
and-
dinner
yeah.
and second dinner, and you're not exercising as much. And this is all so very sad,
Yeah.
right?
But then you have all the holiday snacks on top of that that are
Sure.
coming up, and
Oh my goodness,
yeah,
right?
it can get tricky.
It can get sad, is what it can get. Seasonal affective disorder, and we're goofing off a little bit, and we're talking about right. We all put on a couple extra pounds around the holidays. It gets a lot more serious than that. Get this. In 2008, a team of researchers in Sweden found that the rate of heart attacks following the first 3 weekdays after daylight saving time increased by about 5%. So the sun going down a little earlier makes people more likely to get heart attacks. They say that it's most likely due to people's changes in sleep patterns.
Okay.
Right? Because sleep is so important to
Yeah.
our cardiovascular health. And so the lack of sleep releases stress, when we sleep, we release stress hormones, right? So that's not just sweat on your pillow, right? That's stress
That's literal
on your
stress.
pillow when you wake up. And so if you're sleeping less, you're not sleeping as deeply, then you're not releasing that stress as much. And
Wow.
then it causes inflammation. Inflammation causes severe complications in people already at risk of heart attack. And so,
Wow.
it all gets so very sad.
Yeah. We're like walking science experiments.
Right.
It's really incredible if you think about all
Absolutely.
of the different things that affect us and the things that we need to stay on top of in order to function properly.
Yep.
I think, oh, no big deal. I'll just get 5 or 6 hours of sleep tonight, and the next day you're a zombie.
Yeah.
It's
So there are
The
things that
little
we can do to keep us from getting sad, seasonal affective disorder. Obviously, try to stick to a regular sleep schedule, right? Have a schedule, stick to your schedule, avoid caffeine later in the day so that you can maintain your sleep patterns. To help with your mood, try spending time outdoors, especially like you said, if you're an 8 to 5 in the office, try getting out for a walk during lunchtime, even if you're just standing in the sun or sitting in the sun, or use a sunlight lamp. Practice aromatherapy. All this helps to combat the sad. Stick to your regular meal times, right? Know what time you should be eating and stick to those even if you're feeling hungry. Force yourself to stick to those exercise routines. That's super important. Again, make sure you have the right winter clothing. You have reflective clothing if you're exercising outside. Keep a gratitude journal. Thanksgiving is in the air. Express gratitude on a regular basis. That helps keep you positive, increases your biorhythms, and then shake things up a little bit. Maybe try a new recipe, catch up with an old friend, maybe pick up a side job, read a book that you normally wouldn't do, or my favorite, head to the KHTS website and binge listen to the Eye on the Valley podcast. We're going to take a quick break, but we will be right back. You are listening to SCVI and I Lead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, your host, and you are listening to SCVI and I Lead School's Eye on the Valley. Joining me now is someone who is quickly becoming one of my favorite guests. Erin Rank is president and CEO of Habitat for Humanity of Greater Los Angeles. Under her more than 2 decades of leadership, Habitat LA, as they like to be called, has helped build new affordable homes in partnership with thousands of volunteers each year. Habitat LA also helps people with critical home repairs and recently helped families rebuild after the California wildfires. Rank has led the organization to be the top nonprofit residential home builder in Los Angeles 4 years in a row. She's held several leadership positions for Habitat for Humanity International, served as the board chair of Housing California, and was recently named the Federal Home Loan Bank Affordable Housing Advisory Council. Erin has built homes in countries all around the world, and this year she celebrates her personal, this is so cool, her personal 1000th home completed in Los Angeles. Her accolades include being named among, again, super cool, among the top 100 Irish Americans by Irish American Magazine. Take that, Big T. And she was named Alumni of the Year by Pepperdine University. She received her BA in psychology from the University of Missouri and her MA from Pepperdine. Erin, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Oh, so great to be here, Matt. This is always a lot of fun.
Well, we're glad to have you, and we do, you and I were talking about it off the air, we do like to have fun, but we also like to hear inspirational stories and help our listeners get connected with folks that are really making a difference, and you and Habitat LA are certainly both of those. So can you reset for our listeners who may have missed you last year? Tell us how you came to work for Habitat for Humanity.
Sure, and thanks for having me back. I started out as a volunteer with Habitat for Humanity, so I came out to a job site. I had some teenagers that I was mentoring with me, and I remember the first day we were tying in electrical outlets and laying tile, and they have the crew leaders who teach you how to do every aspect of the home, building the home. And they were teaching us these various tasks. And I remember how empowering that felt to learn something that I didn't know and that I could apply to even my own home. And then at the end of that volunteer day, they had this celebration where they handed the keys to the family. And I was just hooked. I was like, this is the greatest nonprofit organization that I could think of. You're giving people this life-changing opportunity at owning homes. So I continued to volunteer, and then when the organization decided to hire their first paid staff member, they asked if I would throw my hat in the ring, and I did. And so I became the first paid staff of Habitat in Greater Los Angeles.
Wow, what an amazing opportunity. So Erin, y'all are really well known around the world. I think most folks know what Habitat for Humanity is and your basic mission. But just in case, can you share with listeners what Habitat for Humanity does?
Sure. So Habitat for Humanity operates around the world with projects and affiliates in more than 70 countries. And here in Los Angeles, Habitat for Humanity Greater Los Angeles is an affiliate. And we are dedicated to building and improving homes for people in need. And our mission is to provide, affordable housing to low-income individuals, allowing them to achieve their first, opportunity at home ownership and improve their living conditions. And our vision is a world where everyone has a safe and decent place to live. Yeah,
and gosh, home ownership, it is something that that can have generational impacts, but it is so difficult here in the LA area, and it seems to be getting more and more challenging every year. What are some of the biggest obstacles that families face right now, and how is Habitat LA tackling those challenges head on?
Well, some of the biggest obstacles to home ownership are, number one, affordability, which includes
Hmm.
the ability to save up for a down payment to purchase a home and access affordable financing. And Habitat LA provides families the opportunity to participate in our Pathways to Home Ownership class.
Hmm.
It is an 8-session class that you can take to get on the pathway to home ownership. We'll teach you everything you need to know, from checking your credit and save, how much you might need to save up, and how you can access some of these affordable down payment assistance programs. Then Habitat helps to build the homes. People can also buy a home on the market using a Habitat mortgage, but our goal is to build more affordable housing throughout Los Angeles. So we build homes and using subcontractors and volunteers, and then we sell those homes at an affordable price to income qualified families, providing them with the opportunity for down payment assistance, sometimes up to $200,000 down payment assistance. And then we sell the homes to the families, and they own it just like anyone else owns their home. And they have the opportunity to build equity and leave it on to future generations.
Wow. So you're not just building homes, you're helping people buy homes, and you're educating folks, kind of building those pathways to home ownership. That is beautiful. But beyond just those three things, Habitat LA also does, you guys, this one was new for me, Erin. You do critical home repairs. Can you tell us about that program and how it's making a difference for existing homeowners in our community?
Absolutely. We had cities throughout Los Angeles County coming to us and saying, we have residents who own their home, maybe have owned their home for quite a long time, and now don't have the physical or financial ability to maintain it. And if they can't maintain it, they can't stay there. They're going to have to move into assisted living, et cetera, but they really want to stay at home. And so Habitat for Humanity will go in and provide accessibility features, whether that's a wheelchair ramp or bars in the restroom, wider hallways, wider doorways. We will do anything we deem as a safety, issue or
Okay.
a critical health issue. So that could be electrical, plumbing repairs, roof repairs. A lot of people have a leaking roof, and so Habitat will go in and fix their roofs. We may also provide energy efficiency repairs, which is
Oh, wow.
sort of a pocketbook issue, right?
Sure.
To weatherize your house so you don't have a draft through your windows, your
Yeah.
doors, that your utility bills will be lower.
Yeah.
So Habitat does all those critical home repairs for families, existing homeowners in our community.
That is amazing. So grateful that y'all are out there and doing that. Because yeah, buying a home can be definitely a financial challenge, but then keeping a home can be financially challenging. And then when we talk about home repairs and things like that, Erin, I mentioned in your bio, and I was curious about this. I mentioned that Habitat also has helped families facing the tragedy of wildfires that may have claimed their homes. Has your team been involved yet at all in the recovery efforts from the fires that we saw last week here in Ventura County, Malibu, those areas? What's the process and how y'all step in during those times?
Yes, we're part of a long-term recovery group in Los Angeles County, and we are focused on rebuilding, the long-term rebuilding efforts. And we helped over 100 families after the 2017 and 2018 wildfires in the valley. And we helped them all the way through rebuilding and moving back into their homes. So
Wow.
there are agencies who work on the immediate needs of maybe a hotel room or a place to rent in the short term, and also, food and other elements that you need to get back onto your feet. And then Habitat will come in and provide case management and work with someone all the way through the point where they are moving back into their homes. And typically we're working with families who are uninsured or underinsured,
Okay.
because FEMA will typically, if you've been a victim of a wildfire, a typical FEMA grant is in the $40,000 range, which we know is not going to rebuild a home in Los Angeles.
Right.
So, if you didn't have insurance or enough insurance, Habitat will step in and help you with a grant to rebuild your house.
Okay. So, Erin, I've actually got this question. We'll talk more in depth in just a few minutes, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask now, because I'm sure there are folks listening. We at iLead Schools, we had a family that lost their home out in Camarillo. Just here in our community in Saugus, there was a family of a young student that lost their home this week, not related to the wildfires, but just a house fire. So if families are experiencing something like that or are in any other way in need of the services that Habitat LA provide, how would folks get a hold of you? How would they reach out for support?
They could reach out either through our website or our phone number, 310-3234-663 or 323-HOME. And they can, I think first, of course, they need to start with their insurance company and determine what coverage they have and if there is a gap and they don't have the financial ability to cover that gap, then reach out to Habitat for Humanity. And we do have some state funding to assist with wildfire rebuilding.
Okay, and so again, the website is habitatla.org. Check with your insurance company first, and then you can reach out to them at habitatla.org. Or again, you said the phone number is 310-323-HOME.
That's right.
Fantastic. Now, you help build and you help restore homes worldwide. You mentioned you didn't mention them individually, but you've helped build homes around the world for years now. Can you tell us a little bit about Habitat for Humanity, Greater Los Angeles, and your recent expansion into the Antelope Valley area? You just, I think, had a dedication ceremony last week, right?
That's right. We just dedicated 8 homes in Lancaster, beautiful single-family homes with craftsman architecture, stucco, Spanish architecture.
Wow.
And the families, most of them are work or live in the Antelope Valley, and so they were excited to have this opportunity to move in. I should say families and individuals, the homeowners. Yeah.
So is this kind of an area of intentional focus, or has this just been a response to the need that you guys are focusing specifically on the Antelope Valley right now?
We have plans to be working and building new homes in the Antelope Valley for at least the next 5 years. So we have a team of staff that work specifically in the Antelope Valley region, and they're doing community events and outreach and trying to get the word out that people can come out and volunteer. And also to give them instructions on how to apply for homeownership.
Fantastic. Kind of an area of focus for today's show, focusing on the Lancaster Antelope Valley area. Last hour we spoke with David Borkes from Empower Generations High School up in Lancaster. Erin Rank, President and CEO of Habitat for Humanity of Greater Los Angeles, is joining me this morning. They've got an area of focus up in the Antelope Valley, working to help build and maintain homes for low-income families. And when we get back, we're going to talk about how you can get involved, either helping build these homes or to even be on the receiving end. And then also, how in the world do they keep up with the skyrocketing costs of real estate in Southern California? We will be right back with Erin Rank, President and CEO of Habitat LA. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVI and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. You're listening to Your Hometown. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVI and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. Joining me this morning is Erin Rank, President and CEO of Habitat for Humanity of Greater Los Angeles. Such an amazing and compassionate person who's been able to put that compassion to work to help literally thousands of others, having built her 1,000th home already for Habitat for Humanity. Erin, what is that like? What you mentioned it earlier last hour just a little bit, but what is it like, especially getting to be the one who hands the keys to a family who may have never even considered the idea of home ownership?
It is incredible. a lot of these families have been told no by a lender or told that they wouldn't qualify, didn't think that they would ever be able to live in a home that they own. They tell stories of, not even being sure if they should go to that first Habitat meeting to find out what it's about, being so grateful that they did. And so it's like, not only are the homeowners completely emotional at the time they're getting keys with, so are all the volunteers who help build the house and the donors who help fund the house. And, it's always, I've had people calling me since the last dedication saying that just, it gave me so much hope and so much energy to keep moving forward in my work with Habitat for Humanity. And so it's a phenomenal feeling. And the best is the kids who are like, I get my own bedroom. I can have a puppy now. What is this area right here? And they're, oh, that's a closet. I never saw a closet before. Just having a backyard, all the things that it unlocks as far as possibilities for the family is really amazing.
Gosh, that is super sweet. Yeah, I can imagine there wouldn't be a dry eye in the house, and that experience, that culminating experience, I'm sure brings the volunteers back. So, Erin, before we took the commercial break, we were talking about how you're focusing a lot on the Antelope Valley, and you're going to be there at least for the next 5 years. You talked about the application and the information process. Are you still taking applications for homes being built in the Antelope Valley, or do you have candidates lined up already?
We'll still be doing the Pathways to Homeownership programs. So we're doing home buyer education, preparing people to apply for the next homes that we'll start building. So we have about 80 lots in Lancaster, and we are working with the city of Palmdale to also get some home sites in Palmdale. So we will be building in the future. So it's a great time to get involved in the Pathways to Homeownership classes and get ready. So when the applications for the next sites open, you'll be ready. And it looks like we will be starting another 2 homes in the spring, and following that will be a series of 2 to 8 home subdivisions coming throughout the area. So it's a great time to get involved and find out what it will take to get you to be ready to apply.
So how do folks do that? How do they get involved? How do they apply?
Again, you can go to the website or call, and you can sign up for one of our Pathways to Homeownership classes, or our home buyer education classes. And we even have financial counselors who will work with you to pull your credit report, see if there's anything on there that you didn't expect or you didn't know about, you might need to address, to get the best loan rate possible. And they will also, get you prepared to save a little bit of money each month so that you'll have the money for your down payment when the time comes. And just walking through what the escrow process and the home purchasing process looks like.
I love that. You guys are closing gaps as well, right? Because this is stuff that some folks grow up and they have their families teaching them about, but not everybody does. And so it's not just about building homes for low-income folks or helping maintain them like we talked about last break, but also building that education piece and improving people's credit and helping generations move towards that pathway to home ownership. That is beautiful. Now, Erin, I know that building a home is a big undertaking, and you talked about how it can be an exhausting experience. You have now completed your 1,000th home. As you look back on it, is there what's maybe the most unexpected or funny thing that you've ever had happen on a Habitat LA build site? Have you had anything kind of unexpected that's snuck up on you that you can share?
Well, in addition to when we're building the homes, we like to have fun. So we do have a lot of themed build days. We had a Wizard of Oz themed build day.
Oh, no way. Okay. Engineer Jen, who's wearing her Wicked shirt, just perked up.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, so it was the anniversary of the show Wizard of Oz. So we created a whole Wizard of Oz scene on our site and had a theme build. We also, when the Barbie movie came out, we had a huge. Everything was pink. We had the Barbie
love it.
doll box that people could take photos in, and pink hard hats. We had there's a pink hard hat Barbie, and it was that was a lot of fun. I think that we have an event every year. It's called Power Women, Power Tools. So this is, women sometimes are intimidated to come to a job site. They don't think they can help with construction. So we have a day, especially for women, especially for, executive women to come out. It's called Power Women, Power Tools. Again, pink hard hats. We have a DJ. And in the middle of that event, often people will break into line dances down the middle of the construction site. So it's just, you never know what's going to happen at a Habitat site.
Oh, that is beautiful. I just pulled that up on your website just now, and you guys have got some beautiful pictures of Power Women, Power Tools. That's amazing. Now, I have to ask, because it seems to me to be a no-brainer. When you have the Wizard of Oz Day on a Habitat build site, have you got the little legs sticking out from underneath the house? You have to, Erin. Right?
Oh my God!
Maybe at the end of the day, have somebody pry the shoes off of those cold dead legs. Oh, that is awesome.
Black pointy shoes.
All right, now a little bit more seriously, because there's a lot of folks, and not even necessarily low income folks, that are struggling with home ownership. The cost of real estate, especially in Southern California, absolutely. Well, I was going to say lately, but it's been, the last decade or so. Homes have just absolutely skyrocketed. Prices are not coming down. So even for what can be considered low-cost housing, it seems like has become almost unaffordable. How do you at Habitat LA keep up and keep the homes that you build affordable?
Well, it starts with the cities. Most of our land is donated by the cities or the counties because they want more affordable housing in their communities. So Habitat has that as a kind of a break at the beginning that we don't have to purchase the land. And then we build our homes using volunteer labor or with our own teams. And so we're able to keep the cost of construction down. And then when we turn around to sell the homes, we have special down payment assistance programs. And so a home buyer of a Habitat home is valued at market rate. So say the home value in Lancaster would be $450,000. They may get a $200,000 down payment. So now they only need to qualify for $250,000 in their first mortgage rather than $450,000. And they bring in a 1% down payment. And that's, we have a sliding scale for our families. We make sure they never pay more than 1/3 of their gross monthly income at the time they purchase the home for their housing payment, because we know they need the other 2/3 of their paycheck to buy food and pay for utilities and maybe a car, gas, things like that. So we want to make sure that the home is affordable from the get-go.
What a beautiful model. So, Erin, we've talked about how people can reach out and apply if they think they may qualify for a home or if they need some of those repairs or other services that you provide. But what if a listener's inspired and they want to get involved in what Habitat LA is doing? How can they do that? How can they get involved in volunteering?
Well, you can volunteer in a number of ways. One is on the build site. Another is in our restores. So we have they're kind of a cross between a thrift store and a Home Depot or another big box, home improvement store. They have materials that are donated by people who are redoing their homes or from contractors or from, major retailers who are discontinuing items. So we have all of this great merchandise, home-related merchandise in these stores. And you can volunteer in the stores to help set the merchandise on the floor or help with customers and see everything that comes, because we get 6 trucks a day at every store. So we've got a lot of new merch coming in every day. And People can volunteer at the Restore. They can volunteer at the Build site. They can help in some of our event committees or homeowner selection committees. We have finance volunteers. So we have internships for students who are looking for internships. And we will find a place for you to volunteer. If you have a certain skill, like you're an attorney or an architect, or we'd be happy to plug you in so you can volunteer. And all of those opportunities are available through our website as well.
All righty. So if the idea of a nail gun scares you, there's a lot of other ways to get involved. But if that's if you are a power woman with power tools or anybody else, you can get out on a Build site. That is fantastic. What about folks who don't necessarily have the time but are absolutely falling in love with your mission and vision? Is there any way that they can contribute? Do you take donations or anything like that?
Absolutely. We're a nonprofit organization. We survive on donations, and so they could donate money, and we promise we will put that straight into building more houses. So if you can, share the website with the donation link, then everybody could hopefully think about us this holiday season as you're making your year-end donations and philanthropic giving. That would be fantastic.
Absolutely. Producer Sarah is already posting the link here on our Facebook Live feed, and so we appreciate that. One last thing, Erin, everybody associates Habitat for Humanity with one very famous person, and that is, of course, Jimmy Carter, right? But I understand, even though, man, did he do it late into life, blew my mind well into his 80s.
Mid-90s.
Mid-90s.
96.
Was he out on the Build site that late, though?
Yes.
He was out on the Build site at 96.
He was out on the Build site until COVID, so 4 years ago.
That is amazing. So unfortunately, he's not there helping build anymore. Although I was super inspired, saw him last week out voting. So love to see Jimmy still out doing that. But so we need to get another celebrity attached to Habitat for Humanity. So if you had your choice, if you could pick one celebrity to get out there swinging the hammer with you, nobody does it like Jimmy did. Man, that guy was amazing.
Right.
But if you could pick one dream volunteer, who would you pick to have out there on a Build site, and why?
Well, fortunately, we have so many amazing volunteers that come out and build with us, from very notable people to folks that are coming out to swing a hammer in their local community. And so we have a lot of celebrity support. But like if you're just talking to me, Erin, personally, I would love to see The Rock come out and build.
Oh, yeah. All right. So
he's hilarious.
That
Second of all,
great.
I know that he could, I'm sure he would have no problem hanging drywall and lifting some of the heavier things. And we need more Pacific Islanders. Like we need Pacific Islander homeowners, and we need Pacific Islanders out there representing Habitat.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's tag him on our podcast and see if we can't make that happen. That would be absolutely amazing. And just kind of throw down the gauntlet. You have no idea how strong old Jimmy was. Let's see if you can do it like he used to. That'd be fantastic. Erin Rank, President and CEO of Habitat for Humanity of Greater Los Angeles. Erin, you and your team are doing absolutely amazing things. You don't need me to tell you that. But thank you so much for joining us. Erin, I mentioned in your bio, you come from a big Irish family. Do you have siblings?
I do. I have one brother. Yep.
Oh, okay. So you understand the struggle, Erin. I'm in my mid-50s now, and I still am not allowed to have nice things of my own. My mom makes me share my radio show with my stupid big brother, and so he calls in at the end of the show every week and tortures us with trivia questions that sometimes he even has the answers to. I know you're busy and you're doing important work. Do you have a few extra minutes that you can stick around and play with us, or do you need to get back to work?
Sure, I'd love to stick around.
Oh,
I
fantastic.
played with you guys last year, so I think, I need a redo because I didn't win last time, and I'm really competitive, so.
Okay, well then
I
let's
want another chance at it.
All right, let's. So, Erin Rank, President and CEO of Habitat for Humanity of Greater Los Angeles, looking for a shot at redemption with Big T. Big T, do me a favor, call right now. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be back and just go completely off the rails. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVI and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KH. Yes, I am ready. Just finished my coffee. I've got the energy now to take on this next segment. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVI and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. But now, well, actually, before we get to that, just want to remind our listeners, we've got on the line Erin Rank, President and CEO of Habitat for Humanity of Greater Los Angeles. Erin, appreciate your patience for sticking around, and I also appreciate the patience that it's going to take to endure the next 15 minutes or so with my big brother, because now it is time for Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Y'all know Big T. He is an executive and philanthropist. He's an amazing father, husband, and dog dad. Unfortunately, the closest thing he ever came to a brainstorm was a light drizzle. Here he is, everybody. He's Mom's favorite. Big T, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Maddie. Good morning. Hey, Frogger, you were talking about Christmas this morning and people that get really taken care of at Christmas. Jen mentioned that they love Christmas and that's their favorite holiday.
Uh-huh.
That's why my favorite holiday is Christmas and yours isn't. You know I got a car once, right?
I do know you got a car once. And you know what? Erin, my brother, when he turned 16, he did get a car. We also have 3 stepbrothers. All 3 of them got a car when they turned 16.
Nice.
Yeah. I got a vest, Erin, a puffy little Marty McFly vest when I turned 16.
Dork thinks he's going to drown.
Yeah,
Which is why you love Thanksgiving.
exactly, right? And thanks that you're giving things to my brothers. Yeah, awesome. Hey, Big T, before we get to trivia, I know Papa had been on the schneid lately, and Erin, again, we're going to require your patience. My dad likes to get in on the act as well, and for whatever reason, we're an education-based show. We bring in inspirational leaders such as yourself, but my dad always likes to give gambling advice on the air. But he's been doing terrible. So, Erin, I've got some advice for you. Listen to my dad's pick and go the other way. Fade Papa. He's not doing well this year. Tony, what's Papa's pick this week?
Papa's 3-6. He picked Syracuse last week and took 2 points, but they lost by 6.
Yep.
This week, Papa's taking BYU at home against a 3-6 Kansas team, and he's laying 2.5 is all.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, interesting. I like that pick, but I don't like siding with Papa. But hopefully you can get off the schneid this week, Papa. All right, so, Erin, Tony's got some trivia questions, and what he's going to do is he's going to throw out the questions, and it's not just you and I. There's 4 of us. I've got Engineer Jen here in the studio. I've got Engineer Andrew. They're both really good at the trivia as well, and so when Tony throws out the questions, you need to hit your buzzer before you shout out your answer, okay?
Okay. And how do I hit the buzzer?
Yeah. Your buzzer is your name. So we just call out our name, and then Tony will be the judge, and he'll determine, who's on the board. For whatever reason, I'm calling out Frogger. So we've got Frogger, Erin, Jen, and Andrew. Big T, you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. So, Matt, a little bit of a fun fact to kick us off. You and I are both big Prince fans. In fact, I think, Matt, we're the Prince show of record, aren't we?
Not even close.
Not even close. So Prince released his blockbuster album and movie Purple Rain in June of 1984. Do you know, Matt, that the release of Purple Rain is closer in years to World War II than it is to November of 2024?
Stop it, Tony.
No,
That is
no,
false.
No, incorrect.
That is not
true. I
true.
refuse to believe that. No.
You're welcome.
No.
Oh,
we
my
were having
gosh.
a nice Friday
Right,
morning.
Right.
Why?
But it's not just us along those veins, but a lot longer. Did you know that Cleopatra lived closer to 2024 than she did to the time that the pyramids were built?
Oh, my God.
True story.
Stop
okay,
with
good,
the,
good.
with the date.
Anything
math.
else, Frogger, that would wow us?
No, these are not so fun facts. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Jen, your
Yeah.
choice today. Geography trivia, baseball trivia, or the history of Thanksgiving trivia?
Oh, God, come on.
Why don't we give Erin the choice?
That's a better choice.
Tony, why don't we give it to Erin, again, CEO and president of Habitat for Humanity Greater Los Angeles. Erin, did you get those choices?
Geography, baseball, or Thanksgiving? Baseball?
She's a
Perfect.
baseball fan.
Movie soundtrack trivia it is. All righty, but
Wait.
before we get to that, we're going to have a little fun with some real estate acronyms, okay?
Okay.
What does the acronym APR stand for?
Frogger.
Erin.
Frogger.
Annual percentage rate.
That is correct. What does the real estate acronym ARM stand for?
Erin.
Erin.
Adjustable rate mortgage.
Yes,
And
nice.
Erin is on the board. Nice. What does the acronym LTV stand for?
Erin.
Erin.
Loan to value.
Nice. Last one on real estate. What does HELOC stand for?
Erin.
Erin.
Home equity line of credit.
Home equity line of credit. She's out of the gate quick.
Nice.
I thought those were the bad guys in Land of the Lost. The HELOCs, weren't those the lizard-looking guys in Land of the Lost?
No, those were fleet stacks.
Oh, okay.
How does Big T know that? I'm ashamed of myself. All righty. Who composed the iconic score for the film Star Wars?
Jen.
Andrew.
Jen?
John Williams.
John Williams is correct. Who composed the song for Disney's The Lion King?
Jen.
Oh,
Jen.
Elton John and Tim Rice.
Oh.
Or is it just
We're-
Elton John?
Hey.
Doubled up on it.
Okay.
she doubled up. I was only going to give her half a point because she missed his title. It's Sir.
Sir
Oh, okay.
Elton John.
Yeah.
There you go.
What Elton John song has lyrics that often confuses people into think that he's singing about Tony Danza?
Frogger.
Frogger.
It's Tiny Dancer.
You got to sing it, though. You got to sing it to get the point.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
There you go.
That was the Big T original. You would not find that trivia question in a book. What song was Radio Raheem playing on his boombox in Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing?
Andrew.
Oh.
Andrew.
I'm going to go Fight the Power.
Fight the Power. Nice pull,
Nice.
Andrew.
Yes. That's a good pull, Iron.
Yeah.
What 80s movie features the largely instrumental song, Oh Yeah? And if we have to sing it,
Frogger.
Frogger.
Oh,
That would be Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh,
Right.
oh.
The film Whiplash focuses on a student mastering which
Andrew.
instrument? Andrew.
The drums.
Drums. If you haven't seen that movie, it's fantastic. What chart-topping single came from the movie Dirty Dancing?
Jen.
Jen.
I've had that time of my life.
Outstanding. Good pull.
There was a couple of them.
There
What
was
about
a couple. Hungry
She's Like
Eyes.
a Wind?
She's like the wind.
Yes.
Well,
was
I don't
gonna
think.
say those
Yeah,
names.
Hungry Eyes. Eric Carmen.
Those
yeah.
were not chart-topping.
Oh.
Oh, they're not
They were.
chart topping.
They are in my car.
Those are not chart topping.
know.
Quote of the week.
What song from the Graduate soundtrack became a hit for Simon
Jen.
and Garfunkel?
Andrew.
Jen.
Mrs. Robinson.
Mr. Robinson's correct. Name the very successful single from the movie Frozen.
Jen.
Jen.
Let it go.
Does she have to sing it, Frogger?
Let it go.
Oh my gosh.
Can't hold it back.
Andrew, can we get the
anymore.
chipmunks
Right?
back
Yeah,
on?
that's-
Oh my lord.
Who sang the theme song "Live and Let Die" from the James
Frogger.
Bond film? Frogger.
That would be Sir Paul McCartney.
Andrew.
Ah.
Andrew.
Wings.
I'm sorry.
Was it Wings?
You guys are both close. Jen, you want to blend those together and steal the point, or Aaron,
Oh.
you blend them together and steal the point?
Well, I thought it was Paul McCartney.
Erin, you want to say it?
The Beatles?
And Paul McCartney and the Wings.
Ah, okay.
Oh man.
Paul McCartney and Wings.
Okay.
The Black Panther soundtrack was produced by which critically acclaimed rap artist
Andrew.
who's won 17 Grammys? Andrew.
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar.
Oh gosh, I didn't realize the Black Panther Party had their own soundtrack. That's great.
Aaron, what's your brother's favorite whiskey?
I'm not sure.
Frogger.
Frogger, he's Irish. What's his favorite whiskey?
Writer's Tears.
All of them.
All of them. Oh god.
No points for that.
That's why I
What
was
song-
stumped.
Okay. I need to tell producer Sarah's favorite joke. I can hear her screaming through the Facebook Live feed. All right, Erin, you might love this. You might hate this. All right, it starts with an Irish guy leaves a bar, right? Come on, it could happen.
Could It could.
But
It could happen.
Usually going the other direction, but
Right.
What song does Tom Cruise famously lip sync in Risky Business?
Jen,
Jen.
Oh.
you've lost that lovin' feeling.
No.
No.
Frogger.
Oh.
Frogger.
Old time rock and roll.
Oh, was it
Old-time
Cocktail?
Boom,
Eyes up top, Jen.
That was
was it?
that was Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Too much lip syncing from Tom Cruise, I think.
Right. Which iconic 80s movie includes the song Don't You Forget About Me by the Simple
Andrew.
Minds? Andrew.
The Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. Nice poll.
All right, Big T, we're gonna take a halftime break right here and take a look at the scoreboard because we're actually doing pretty well here. Frogger's got 3, Erin holding strong with 4, Engineer Jen currently in the lead with 5, Engineer Andrew tied with Erin with 4, and Tony, you've actually got 1 point. I don't know how you did that today, but you're doing well.
I got one for all of them.
That's well, you know what? Actually, I think it was the question that I had asked. But so for all of them, yeah, we'll give you 2 points. Real tight here. Okay, we've got a few more minutes, Big T. Let's get back into it. How we doing?
For the record, that 2 points, Maddie.
Yeah.
I just doubled the scores of my SAT.
That's because he misspelled his name.
Yes. Which Beatles song does Ferris Bueller lip sync in Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Frogger,
Oh man.
Frogger.
shake it up.
Incorrect.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Andrew. Okay, got it.
I think I heard Jen
Jen.
first, right?
Yes, you did.
Twist and shout.
Twist and shout is
I had to sing
correct.
the song through my head.
I know.
real
I
quick.
could see the scene in my head.
Which song by Queen is famously used in a scene in Wayne's World?
Andrew.
Oh,
Andrew.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Galileo, Galileo.
and for those of you millennials that are listening along today, this is Gen X pop culture. We're enjoying it today.
Which song from the film 8 Mile won the Academy
Frogger.
Award for Best Song in 2003? Yes.
Lose yourself.
Lose Yourself. Nice pull.
Dun, 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 dun.
What song from La La Land won the Oscar for Best Original Song?
Andrew.
Andrew.
City of Lights.
Incorrect.
Oh, Andrew. Okay, it's Andrew. Okay.
No,
Andrew again.
No, not yet. Not yet. Erin, Jen, you got anything?
I do not.
You get a half a point now.
No.
Cancer again.
Okay, no half point, but go right for it.
Is it City of Stars?
City of Stars is correct.
Okay.
He should get a half
Which
point for
song?
that.
And he should be able to keep half of his man card.
Which popular rock band provided the soundtrack for the film A Hard Day's Night?
Jen,
Frogger?
Jen?
the Beatles?
The Beatles.
Oh,
Don't
Okay, I was.
Is this a trick question?
Who sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow in Wizard of Oz?
Jen,
Ah,
listen,
Jen.
Judy Garland.
don't waste her time. Tony, did you catch the interview a little bit earlier on? We're going to be putting some legs underneath the home here soon.
No, I missed that. Sorry. Which film features the Bee Gees song Stayin' Alive in its opening sequence?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever is correct.
And I would
Frogger,
sing
we
that
got
song, but I'm afraid I'll injure myself.
I know we got a couple minutes. You want a few more? We only have one more trivia.
What?
No more baseball.
Well, producer Sarah's commenting, and we have officially invited the Boomers to the show.
Which song by Alphaville was played in the prom dance scene of Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh my God.
Oh.
Jen, I don't have it.
Do you know any other
Forever,
song by Alphaville other than
Forever
this one?
Young? Is it
Forever Young is correct.
Okay.
Nicely done, Jen.
Nice.
Way to go,
Which film
Jen.
features the more memorable line, "Play it, Sam"?
Frogger.
Play as time goes by. Frogger.
So that would be Casablanca.
Casablanca's correct.
Fun fact,
The soundtrack-
it is one of the most misquoted movie lines of all time. Play it again, Sam, is never
doesn't
said in
say
that
it,
movie,
yeah.
not once, not ever.
Nope.
Really?
For reals.
I just remember Elsa wore blue, the Germans wore gray.
Correct. And
The
and
soundtrack
Aaron,
of
yeah, he
which-
never says it. He just says, play it once, Sam. You played it for her. You can play it. Here, you played it for her. You can play it for me.
Play it, Sam. The soundtrack of which film features the music of ABBA?
Jen.
Oh,
Andrew.
Jen.
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia is correct. Eye of the Tiger is an iconic song from which film series?
Jen.
oh,
Jen.
Rocky.
Rocky. Good pull.
just the series. Do you know which one?
I do not.
I see.
The one with
Rocky
the one
3,
with
I
the
believe.
We got time for 2 more questions, Tony.
Perfect. Who composed the original score for the film Jaws?
Jen.
Frogger. Okay, go ahead, Jen.
I'm guessing John Williams.
John Williams is correct. Last one. What Italian designer known for his sensual collection was murdered on July 15th, 1999 in Miami? Jen.
Gianni Versace.
Mr. Versace.
Yes, yeah. Fantastic. Hey, thanks, Big T. Erin, you did great with the real estate questions, and then Jen just kind of locked in and took it over.
She's amazing.
She really is.
Well, don't ask me any math questions.
Right.
Forget it.
There we
The
go.
5th grade math, I'm out.
But thanks for playing. Just taking a look at the scores. Frogger with a decent 6, Erin a respectable 4, but Jen smoked us all with 13 points. Engineer Andrew's so embarrassed he already left the studio. But we do have to wrap up. Big T, thanks for swinging by. We also want to thank our guest, Community Outreach Coordinator with Empower Generations Charter High School, David Borkes. EmpowerGenerations.org for more information. Erin Rank, President and CEO of Habitat for Humanity of Greater Los Angeles. Producer Sarah, Engineer Andrew, Engineer Jen, and thank you for listening. Remember, friends, life is hard, but we're all here to help each other along. Be well and do good, and have a great weekend. Join us again next week and every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVI, and I lead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station.